of another month, 3 p.m. here in Chicago, May 1st. That is a weird thing to say, isn't it? Oh man. But very happy to see you all here. What's going on, everybody? We got Martha's already in here, Luis Becerra is in here. Tom AK, what's going on, everybody? It is an absolutely beautiful day here in Chicago. Weather is fantastic. I had a great run this morning, and I'm very happy now to be talking to you guys. John, Brian, Serrano, hey, hey, I love that. What's going on? Stevie76, what's going on, everybody? I just got some noon in here today. Today has been last couple of days have been, I don't know if it's because it's been raining and cold or what, but the last couple of days for me have definitely been a bit of a snacky kind of week. Like I've just been doing my prowl where I'm kind of like I walk around the house, like thinking about what I'm going to eat. I kind of pace a little bit as I do it. And, I know that a lot of it is just being bored, maybe a bit just being a little bit overall just anxious about stuff or stressed. So I'm like kind of stress eating a little bit. Um, so I'm trying to just stay hydrated, drink a little bit more fluid. I don't think I drank enough fluid after my run this morning either. So I want to have another run tomorrow. So, gonna stay hydrated. Martin Lang says, "Good evening from Germany. It's 22 p.m., which means it is 10 o'clock there. Awesome, very cool. Kofuzi time, awesome. Motivation Theory Morning says he loves stress eating. I mean, it is a good way to relieve stress. In a way, everything in moderation, right? Stevie76 dropping in the super chat for the beer fund, Kofuzi Drink Club, because the boss man is still dropping that direct deposit. Awesome. I'm glad you're still working. Love learning about everyone's favorite beers at yesterday's happy hour and adding it to his list. Yeah, that was pretty fun yesterday. Everyone coming in. I'd like to start having more like theme, not ever, maybe not like every single week, but like having different theme like sessions. So that way, you guys, and I want to like post it out earlier. That's what I was trying to do, like make a thumbnail and have things for you guys to like talk about so that when we get here we have kind of like things that we can share, rather than me like talking at you. I want to make sure I'm still talking with you and also making it for people who are listening on later after the fact, stuff that they can like think about and enjoy and learn about what everyone else in the community has been enjoying. So like yesterday, really great time talking about the Mars Cheese Castle, but also Zombie Dust and Gumball Head and Spotted Cow, all the other beers that people are drinking. So that was fun. So I'd like to do some more of that. In that, I mean, I guess I'll announce it now, but in that vein, I think what I'm going to start doing is for Mondays anyway, is start doing like a mukbang Monday because I mean I'm going to kind of tap into my Korean heritage and have a mukbang. For people that don't know what that is, mukbang in Korean means like eating room, and it's this weird thing where people will go on things like Twitch or live streams and they'll eat. And sometimes it's like usually it's like usually the format's it's very 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 strange. And usually the format is it's a very pretty like Asian woman eating just a gigantic amount of food, and it's strange, and like people will like chat and say like eat the dumplings next or like eat the pizza next. It's just weird. But I think it's become like mainstream eyes. I'm still sure there's still that weird element, but it's become mainstream eyes. So I'm gonna start doing that, and I'm gonna start doing like taste testing stuff. So first one up is gonna be Blake Sea Base. They just sent me a box of stuff to kind of check out. I am an ambassador for them, and so I'm gonna check out a whole bunch of different flavors of that stuff. Another one that I'm gonna do following week is I got a whole bunch of product from Univet as well. I've already made a lot of videos about it, so I wasn't gonna make a special video about it on that. So I think I'm gonna have it like the following Monday, tasting all the different flavors because I've tasted some of them already, and some of them are really improved. So I think like that's a kind of a good place to like kind of not put that. Not that it's like throwaway content, but I just feel like it gives us like a format, like a structure a little bit to the conversation. And I think could be fun. And you guys could talk about what you like, what you don't like, especially if you've had them. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. And definitely like Stevie76 came up with the idea of making it a happy hour like once a week. And I definitely love it. So thanks for the super chat and thanks for the idea. I'm making you like chairman of that board, of that subcommittee. So you have that position now. So you're in charge. um, Lewis Cameron's coming in from Boston. What's going on? John Brian Serrano says it's a dumb question. Do I warm up? It's not a dumb question at all. The answer is no and yes. Right. So no, I don't. I don't do like a stretching routine. I don't do drills. A lot of people do that. I don't do any of that kind of stuff, although maybe I need to start doing that, but I haven't historically. And instead, what I do is I just take my first mile, or sometimes even 2 miles, or even longer, up to 20 minutes. Take it easy, um, and just kind of ease into it. And if it's an easy run, let's say I'm just going to run at like low heart rate the entire time, the first 10 to 15 minutes will be even lower than my low heart rate target, just to make sure like everything kind of gets loosened up and warmed up before I start getting at my workout pace for the day. Dennis Dunbar says it's 9 p.m. in Scotland. It's Kofuzi time. He got a 5K PB today. Awesome 2021 hard work. Great, fantastic work. But now, of course, you know what that means. Now you got to go for sub 20. So that's the way we runners are, isn't it? Once you get it, it's like awesome. Celebrate it today for sure. Great to get it on a Friday too. And then, starting, a couple of days, you can start thinking about that sub 20. Louis Becerra asks, has the state of Illinois reopened the parks and lakefront? No, they haven't. Some parks are open. Golf courses are all open, which I have a very pessimistic theory on why that is. But golf courses are open across the state, but the lakefront is still closed. I think lots of parks have been open, um, uh, and they stayed open, but a lot of, like, at least in Chicago, a lot of the popular running trails were closed, and those are still closed as far as I know. Jennifer Moss says, happy May 1st, just did a 10K to mark International Workers' Day, which incidentally originated in Chicago. Oh, awesome. I didn't know that. I should know that, though. My running buddy is a labor lawyer on the labor side. So I've learned a lot about labor law just from our runs together. And so that's something that I should have known. But happy International Workers' Day to you, too. Carlos PR says, what do you think about rope jumping? I've been using it for a while and I feel it really helps. Cheers. I think it's a great way to keep the heart rate up. I saw Claire, Wild Ginger Runner, just did a video about her jump roping, skip roping, jump roping routine. I mean, boxers use it and have used it for a really long time. And I feel like those guys, I think like unless you're like a heavyweight boxer, I think the real trick about boxing is just how aerobic of an activity it is. So like if I feel like if it works for boxers, there must be something to it. I don't have a jump rope and I wouldn't have a place to jump. So there's that, but um, I think it could be a really good exercise. All right, we got Ben NG and Ben N coming with a super chat. Thank you so much. It says contribution to Kofuzi Valley Mac and Cheese Fund. We've been going through so much of it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for putting so much hard work into these streams. Great to stay in touch with the running community. Thank you so much. And what makes it awesome is all the people that are coming in. Ben, you coming in, and everyone else that's coming in here as well. I've gotten to meet so many of you on a much more personal level, which has been really great. Especially at a time like this where a lot of people are their universe, the circle of their world has like shrunk quite a bit. And my wife and I talk about it a lot with the kids. Like the number of people that they have is just isn't the same as what it used to be. And just for the girls, I know that like I'm very aware that like they have very rich like social networks in real life because of the people that they see and are interacting with on a daily basis. And for that to contract to like their sister, like me and my wife and the dog, I think has been really tough. So like my older daughter has been doing just like they've been doing Zoom meetings for her and her friends. And so a lot of times they just kind of just leave the video on and forget about the computer. But like one or two people might stick around. So like, but I think that's useful. That's kind of the way kids play at that younger age, and it's good for them. And I think it's good for all of us too, adults as well, to be able to make sure we have that connection. So it's good to see everybody here. And thanks so much for the super chat. Let's see who else we got in here. Yeah, Martha says we're all stress eating. I bet you're not missing Whole Foods pizza. No, I'm not, but it is tempting. Um, but like eating pizza from like a self-serve area, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that for a long time. But I do miss like getting pizza, like someone else makes. My wife and I make pizza. My wife probably makes a better pizza than I do at home, but it's just not the same. And so like I just love pizza. I miss it. Joshua Payne says, second day in a row tuning in. Kind of bummed I don't have anything to listen to for my next morning run. Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, well, maybe you could go back and find an old episode then if you're really starving for it. There's lots of other people are putting in a lot of other great content as well. So there's a lot of really great podcasts. I was listening to this morning, Ali on the Run podcast. That's a pretty good one. That's one that I enjoy if you haven't listened to that one before. She was talking to not Sarah Sellers, Emily Sisson, I think. Was it Emily Sisson today? But it was a good conversation just listening to people that had competed in the Olympic trials and kind of like what they're up to now is interesting, And so pros, they're just like us. They have the same kind of like problems and things that they're trying to deal with. And Manuel Medina says, "Have you checked out the Pegasus 37?" I've kind of looked at them now that they're released. I haven't. I don't have a pair. Mello Vello coming in from Switzerland. What's going on? It's Korean too, and he runs. So much in common. Yep. Um, let's see. Martha says, binge watching Mark Wiens on YouTube while we eat. He travels the world to eat great food. One must have something good on hand to eat while watching his vlog, preferably something spicy. Okay. All right. That's cool. That's kind of like mukbanging it. Awesome. I'll have to check that out. I don't know who Mark Wiens is. Edgar Boise says, "Hello, Kofuzi. Enjoying your blessing weekend from East Harlem, NYC. Awesome. Very cool." Alex Williams says, "Hey, Ko, do you have to wear different sizes and different shoes? Do you pay attention to the size charts when buying or go off of reviews? Are trail shoes different than road in terms of sizing?" For me, if it's a running shoe, I've been lucky enough. I think like I said this a couple of times, different ways, but like for me, I'm remarkably average, which comes in very handy if you're a reviewer of things, whether it's shirts, pants, or like running shoes. And so for me, running shoe wise, I always get a size 9. The only time I might look at a size chart is if I'm getting like flip flops. Sometimes I'll even size down on flip flops because just sometimes they're so big. And I get mine wet a lot, and so like they get loose and stretch and all that stuff. So sometimes I size down with flip flops, like thong sandals. What are the? There's a different word for them in Australia that like how to dad in New Zealand calls them something. I forget what he calls them. But anyway, so those I might do different. Or if I'm wearing a boot, I might look at a size chart. But for me, for a running shoe, I just buy the size 9, no matter what it is. And if it doesn't fit, then it's not really a running shoe size 9. And so then I'll have a problem with that. So that's from a review perspective what I do. I know some people have like an Adidas, they do this, and Nike do that, they do that. I can envision in trail running it might be a little bit different depending on what your foot is like. If your foot is like borderline a wide size, I could see that happening. But for me, I'm straight down the middle. Size 9 is usually fine for me no matter what I'm um, and the thing that I like to remind people or like kind of tell people when they're like, do I need to size up or size down is like, certain shoes are supposed to fit differently. Like a racing shoe is going to fit very tight, even though it's the right size compared to like a max cushion or a daily trainer shoe in the same size. I equate it to like different cuts of pants. Like a skinny jean, it could be the right size for you, but it's gonna feel skinny even if it's the right size compared to like cargo pants, right? And so that's kind of like something I tend to remind people because some people maybe not be are aware when they're buying different sizes. Mark Trujillo says, "No hat today. Your wife must be a good barber." No, no, I just thought I'd go for it. I took a shower. After I took a shower this morning, I actually put some product in my hair for the first time in like a month, I think, and I thought I'd go for it, see how I feel about it. I'm okay with it. I think what I'm gonna just do though, I think I'm gonna get some clippers and at some point just like grab everything that fits on the top and then shave off everything else and see how that goes. Because once it gets hot here, all this hair is gonna be just way too much. It's gonna be way too hot. It'd be like running in a for me like all this hair like and like the mustache too. Like if I keep all this running in the summertime for me is gonna be like running with a balaclava on. 'Cause it's so hot. Um, you Jazz says, explain the mustache. The mustache, why not? I don't want to go to work. I can't go to work, so why not? J. Mike Remy says, we'll pop open first beer in a long time tomorrow. Awesome. Solo 50K in the morning. Well, good luck to you, and hope it goes well. Let me know how. Let us know. Come back. Let us know how it goes. Are you just going for it to go for it, or is there a charity aspect to it, a virtual run? Let us know tomorrow. Leighton Smith says, sup foos. F, lots of O's and a Z. Samuel Golden says, would love to see a review of the Allbirds Dasher suit. I don't know if you looked into it, but it's Allbirds' first go at a performance running shoe. It's made with sustainable materials. We talked about it the other day on the live stream on the Allbirds. I think I'm going to pass on it. A couple of people. Okay, cool. Oh, continents? C-O-N. She's asking how to spell continent. C-O-N. You got N in there? T-I-N-E-N-T-S. There you go. Yeah. So, yeah, the Allbirds. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna buy those. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting shoe. It really should be one that I review, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I love the concept, but like, I don't know. Allbirds has like a really weird reputation around here. A lot of lawyers and bankers that I live in this neighborhood love Allbirds, and so just like they're kind of like I don't know, they're like an annoying shoe around here, in my opinion. Alex Goldberg, sorry if you love them. I'm so sorry. Alex Goldberg says, Bro Fuzi, my guy, great channel, positive vibes. Thanks. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming and helping keep it positive too. Joseph Payne says, You're the coolest, most interesting lawyer I know of. It's because I don't really practice law. I don't actually have clients. I consult with other attorneys. So that's probably why. If I were a regular attorney, I'd probably be a lot more miserable and grumpy. So there's that. Albert R, can you talk about overtraining syndrome? Have you ever experienced this? I'm not sure that I've had like overtraining syndrome, but I do feel like I've been overtrained before. And people say that they'd rather be under a little bit overtrained than a lot overtrained, and I'm not sure that I necessarily agree with that. But overtraining, it's just you always feel a little bit tired, and you're not recovering very quickly from your workouts. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is people like Dina Castor will say that there's no such thing as overtraining, just under recovering, and I kind of really like that approach to things because I have a tend to like um, overdo things a lot, and I like to be intense on certain things. My wife says I always like to be the extremist or the mostest of people, and so I kind of like that concept. But overtraining, think definitely is a thing where like you know, there you pass a point of maximal of return, and where like putting more inputs, more workouts into your system isn't giving you benefit because your body's not recovering from the previous workouts. You do that a long time, and your muscles are just going to kind of be dead. And so, like when even with a taper, when your comes to race day, your body still isn't recovered. Um, let's see. Lewis Cameron says, "Hey, Cody, do you have clip-in shoes for the bike? If so, which one?" I don't. I just wear I wear my Adidas Alpha Edge 4D Death Star shoes. So I wear those because I don't know where else to really wear those shoes. Um, Farrah says, Happy Friday. Texas reopened partially today. I'm still nervous to go out to parks. Are people in Chicago who are out running, walking, courteous to move over or share running spaces? Yeah, Farrah, I'm nervous for all you guys in Texas. I think I'd probably feel pretty comfortable in a Texas park, depending on the size of the park and how much space you give other people. And I've been running with a face covering. Granted, it's 40 degrees out when I run typically, and so it's not that big a deal. Although it gets pretty wet by the time I'm done with my run. But at least my face is covered, and I'm not coughing on spreading whatever I have to other people. Um, and people in Chicago, it depends. The morning runners that I see before 6 a.m. are extremely courteous. And I was just talking about that in today's morning live stream, where I was running down a road that I've been avoiding because it's a little bit busier of a road and tends to be more pedestrians. But I went down on it today anyway. And every single runner that I saw on the sidewalk that was coming like towards me, um, both of us at the same time instinctively hopped out into the road because there weren't any cars coming. We each hopped out into the road to give the other person space on the sidewalk. And the sidewalks here are pretty wide because it's a pretty busy street. And so that group of runners in the morning has been pretty general. Anecdotal. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to pigeonhole anybody, but generally it was pretty courteous. Everyone was like we are kind of like giggling at each other. Each of us was like, "Oh, we're doing the same thing," and it was nice to see when I go out in the afternoon to walk the dog, or sometimes I'll take the girls out. I'll probably try to take the girls out for a little bike ride today because it's sunny and they've been cooped in all week. Um, uh, the people in the afternoon generally aren't giving people a lot of space, so it's like the sidewalks are pretty tight. Not tight where I'm like brushing shoulders, but like in a wide sidewalk, people aren't don't seem to be making an effort to like maximize the space. And what I tell my kids is, we have sidewalks and then there's that little space and then there's like sidewalk and then there's like the grassy part, between the sidewalk and the road that will be in a lot of the sidewalks as well. We'll hop onto the other side of that if there's grass, like basically stand on the curb and wait if there's, especially if we see older people walking by us. A lot of other people aren't doing that. So that's kind of what I've been experiencing in Chicago is that like some people are very curious about it. Other people are just like, there are a lot in the afternoons, people aren't running with masks on. Lots of people in the afternoon don't have masks on. So it's kind of annoying. I wish that it wasn't the case. But that's kind of the state of things here. And yeah, I mean, I think that if the lakefront opened tomorrow, I'd probably go check it out at my usual normal morning run time, but there's no way I'd go in the afternoon. Noah Greiser says, what do I think of Saucony shoes? I think they're having a really great year. I love the Power Run Plus foam that they have. It's a lot like Boost, but seems to be better than Boost. And so it's, hey, no, you can't, you don't have a shirt on. You can't be on a camera. Go put a shirt on. The baby was getting a little warm today. She goes through like 3 sets of clothes a day. Sometimes she's wearing clothes, sometimes she's not. Right now she's not, but she's having fun. Leighton Smith says, debating between a second pair of Convara 11s or buying those New Balance Tempos. What do you think? I think I like the Kinvara 11 more for daily training than I do like it for speed, although lots of people say that it's for speed workouts. The Hyperion Tempo I like for speed workout, and I wouldn't think of those shoes as like this or that. I think those two together could make a nice pair, but I don't think that I would so I would say for you, whichever thing you need it for more, whether it's daily training or faster running, that's how I would pick. Figure out what you need more and get either one of those two shoes. Um, Bach Pham says the Sisson interview was really good. Yeah, I didn't finish it. I didn't get a chance to finish it today, but yeah, it was an interesting. She's adopting dogs and talking about how like shelters are emptying out uh with everything going on, people spending time at home. So it was a good listen. I look forward to finishing it. Motivation Theory Running says we get pizza delivered 1 day a week and pick up hot wings once a week. Both items you can heat out in the oven to kill any potential items. That's interesting perspective. I like that idea. It's interesting. I just miss pizza. I love pizza. There was one time where my wife and I, when we first learned how to make our own pizza dough, we had pizza. I think we went on a pizza streak. We had pizza like 13 or 14 days in a row. It was glorious. It was nice. I mean, we made it at home. We um, got really good cheese. We put lots of veggies and stuff on it. So, like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't the healthiest thing, but it wasn't the worst thing, I think. But yeah, that was a good streak. Um, yeah. Daniel M says, "What do your kids think of the stash?" I don't really know what they think of it. I think that they're like, "Okay, that's what Dad has now." What's funny is now when the kids make drawings of the family, they now draw me with a mustache. So it's made it into the art. Alonzo C asks, which one, Pegasus 37 or Vomero 14? Oh, I get a Peg 37 right now because I think there's a Vomero 15 coming out soon, or I've seen pictures of it. So I don't know how soon. Vomero, I think the Vomero doesn't release till after the summer. So if you need something in the Vomero, like higher mileage, more cushion area, get that. But like if you're thinking like this or that, I go with the Peg 37. That's the new one. That's the one that's going to be pretty exciting. The Vomero 14, the outsole pattern, the nubs on the outsole were really tall, and I always felt like I was kind of running on like mini cleats. So that was one thing about it. Hopefully, I don't anticipate that being an issue on the 37. Phil Riley says, "Hi, the community spirit during the crisis has been great. Do you think it will continue once we're out of this?" I hope so. What I think is going to start happening, and I'm worried about, is like as different states, and I think Farah, we heard from Farah a little bit, saying how things are going in Texas. As different things start happening in different places, I think then we're going to start seeing like a little bit more of the sniping at each other, right? Because we saw a lot of that, I think, in the beginning, like when certain states were like completely locked down and other states were fine. And some people were running and social distancing running, like running in their group, but like a group of baby chickadees, like one behind the other. Like there was a lot of that going on. And then we also saw lots of people like getting snippy at other people's like Strava accounts saying, oh, you got a PB, but the elapsed time is different than your running time. Like that kind, I think that we're going to see a lot more of that. So hopefully we can kind of just kind of like uh, keep that mentality of we're all in this together, even if we're all at different places. So that's what I hope. That's what I hope. Let's see. On shoe size, Ken Pfaff says, on shoe size for 40 years of running, I was a size 11, but the last 10 years has been 11.5. Wow, that's amazing. That's crazy. Do you think your feet grew over time? Or do you think that like something happened and there was like an adjustment in the sizing? I feel like for shoe sizes, I feel like there isn't really like vanity sizing in shoes. Maybe I guess in like women's like designer shoes I could see it, but like for men's like running shoes and women's running shoes, something that's more utilitarian, I don't I feel like the sizes shouldn't change, but that's interesting. That's fascinating. Um, let's see. Um, Flip-flops. Alexander Latham says, Howdy Dad in New Zealand calls flops thong flip. He calls them thongs. The flip flops with the where there's a thing in between your big toe and the rest of your toes. He calls them thongs, which is like I don't know what they're. Is it what do we call them here? I don't even know. I call them just flip flops, but yeah. But he calls them thongs. I always knew it was something weird. Um, let's see. Tom AK says, do you think the governor and mayor should open the Lakefront Trail and 606 with monitors and or designate open streets for running, biking, exercise like other cities are doing, but not Chicago? My wife and I have been talking about this a lot, and we would love it if certain streets were closed so that like pedestrians could use them, or if we could do something like block parties, right? So like in Chicago, block parties is like a summer tradition, and or street fairs, and like maybe on Saturdays we can close down like stretches of Broadway or Lincoln or whatever, so that people could walk. But I mean, the hard part about it is to do it on a long-term perspective. People still need their bus routes. People still need to be able to get around. And even in the parts of the city that are walkable, and not a lot of places in Chicago are that walkable of neighborhoods, you know, there's still a lot of, I could see there'd be a lot of logistical problems to be able to allow that. And so I can see why they're not considering it, but I really wish that they would. I don't know that the Lakefront Trail and 606 are gonna open up with monitors or anything like that. That'll be probably one of the last things to happen, unfortunately. Um, Andre Gaman, oh, Kafuzi, poke your nose, so I know it's really you. All right, there you go. Um, let's see. Sam Douglas says Aussies call them slaps. You guys call flip flops slaps? I've never heard of it. Yeah, I think you guys are making that. I think you're teasing me now because there's no way. Slaps? It's pretty funny. I like that. I could see that, but I'm having a hard time believing it. Andre Gaiman says, "You got me back into running, and it is like you brought back a passion of mine. Feels great. That's fantastic. That's great. So great on you for putting in the work and getting back out there and getting to the point where you can love it again. That's awesome. That always makes me feel so good to hear that people are like falling back in love with running or getting back into it, or they just starting out and getting into it. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for sharing that. Whitehouse says, hi, I saw that you hinted at reviewing Ultra soon. Any details on that? Yes. I was going to put it, I bumped it because I was going to do it this week, but I bumped it so I could do the fuel cell TC, which I ran in this morning. And then, so I think I might take them out tomorrow, but probably likely maybe tomorrow or Sunday. But you probably won't see a video about it until next week, but next week for sure at some point we'll see a video on it. I'm looking forward to it. In Dutch Flemish, we call them ten sletsen. Ten sletsen. I'm not going to remember that. I wish I could, but I know I won't. Joshua Payne, how long have you been running before you consider yourself a serious runner? I'm slowly realizing that the amount of money I drop on running gear is slowly turning me that way. I mean, if you're wondering if you can call yourself a runner, you're already way past there. You're there. So like, if you run, you're a runner. You know what I mean? So don't worry about that. You know, like people really like. I think it's weird that running the one sport that everyone grew up with being like the one of the few sports where you could just show up and you'd be on the team. Then later in life, people like want to start excluding people, saying like you're not really a runner or that kind of thing. Mm-mm. if you're here today, you're in the club and you're a runner. So welcome, and I'm happy to have you here and happy to have you join us. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about what other people think. Motivation Theory Running says, I'm always an 11.5 in running shoes and they always seem to work fine. Yeah, I mean, I want to know, like, I'd like to investigate more people that have like a lot of that like variation in their shoes and trying to dial in what that is. Um, as for me, and I think that maybe I'm having a hard time empathizing because I've always been like pretty consistent with sizing. So like, yeah. Um, yeah, I always have a hard time when people ask me if things are true to size. It doesn't come to occur to me to mention it in a lot of my videos because it's not something that I really think about a lot. But I'll try to do a better job of mentioning it. Yo, Kofuzi, any recommendation for a good trail shoot? I recall you ran South Mountain here in Phoenix a few months ago. Yes, I did. I got lost pretty bad. Or actually, I think I was exactly where I was supposed to be, but it was a hairy situation because I was dark and I forgot to bring lights. For a good trail shoe, I've been really loving the Challenger ATR from Hoka. That one has been good. Although they list it as like a transition shoe, a little bit of trail, a little bit of road, but I don't really like it on roads at all, and I don't really like to run on it on roads. But if I'm going to be in trails, anything that's going to be like muddy, sloppy, then I think it's a really great trail shoe to run in. My trail shoe experience is pretty limited. That's something that I definitely would go ask Seth James more about for further detail. But of the trail shoes that I've run in, my favorite was probably the Terra Kiger. That one was light, uh, grippy, just lots of fun to run in, bouncy because of the React that's in there. And if you need something that's a little bit more protection with a rock plate, then the Wild Horse is another shoe that I ran in that I enjoyed. Just not as fun as the Terra Kiger, but I just love running the Terra Kiger. People also really enjoy the peg trails and those shoes. So like they kind of fit in between like the Pegasus and then the Terra Kiger, and in between that is like the peg trail. That's a good kind of crossover shoe. If you run in like if you're running like to the trail and the trail is a light trail, or if you're running in like access roads or other dirt roads, maybe some grass, and then it's a really great shoe to run in. Um, Nate in Rednev says, "Hey, I love the channel. Which shoe do you think I should get for a daily trainer? Adidas Boston 8 or Nike Pegasus Turbo 2?" I don't really consider either of those to be pure daily trainers, but I think that you should try them both, and I think that they both could work as daily trainers, depending on what you prefer. I've taken each of those shoes out for short runs, like short interval speed work, and also for 20-mile runs, and they both do pretty well. I think that the Turbo fits better as a short interval, like a short fast day shoe. And the Boston, I think of more of as a long fast day shoe, like longer runs. But other than that, if you're going to use them as daily trainers, I think both can kind of fit in that category pretty well. So I think you'll be happy with either one. You okay? I think we're nearing the time that I got to get going soon. The kids are getting antsy. Um, see what we got here. I'm going to just scroll down to the end, see who I can get in here. Michael Sessler says he likes a Speed Goat 4. Yeah, that's a shoe that I think is a little bit more trail for me than I tend to get involved in, but I'd love to be able to test it out. I've always thought that of the Hoka trail shoes, that one probably looks the most interesting to me. I think would probably like is probably more accessible to me, although still probably more trail shoe than I need. Um, let's see. Mr. Endorphins to the rescue. Sorry, I'm not getting some work done. Well, welcome. Good to see you here. Yeah, see, like all the girls are here. They're getting antsy. They're looking for snacks. They're like throwing some toys around. They're like making noise. They're like letting me know that they're here. I think I gotta go soon. Let's see if I can answer one more question for you guys. Let's see. Um, let's see. Let's take something from Lil Dog 913. What are your thoughts on the Nike Pegasus 37? I think it's going to be a fantastic shoe. I think they're going to sell a ton of them. I think it's going to be the best Pegasus ever. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think I am going to pick up a pair of them. Um, so hey, you don't have a shirt on. You can't be in front of the camera. Hey, you gotta move over. Tell your sister what you want, and she'll get it for you. Okay? Thank you. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great shoot. Wong says, SGJD, Jamie, and you are the ones I'm following on YouTube. You guys are really inspiring and down to earth. Thanks.
feels connected to you guys for comic books like us. I mean, that's our point of view. Maybe not Seth because he's an elite runner, but he's definitely approachable, and as a regular guy. Endless energy, but like definitely a regular guy. And that's kind of what we're not trying to be something we're not, So we're just kind of just being a regular runner just like everybody else. The Coon says, I love remembering where your channel was last year, January, when you were around 10 to 12,000. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy, how fast things have grown. So it's been great to just have everyone here. All right. So I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. I've been having a great time talking to you guys. It's been a good week. You guys definitely helped me get through this week. This week was a challenging one for some reason. Um, and so thank you so much for helping keep my spirits up. Thanks for coming here. And, the conversation with everyone else has been just fantastic. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock a.m. Chicago time on Instagram, and then 3 p.m. back here on YouTube. So hopefully I can see you guys then. In the meantime, hopefully you guys have had good runs, or if you're going to go out there, hope you guys are being safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.